Okay. There we go. Everyone in YouTube, can you hear us now? Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I know you
I'm
can.
good. Everything's good on my end.
Yeah, so I'm trying very hard. I've got so much feedback from my computer. Okay. There we go. Audio's fixed. Yay!
We're good.
Yep.
Hey, there we go.
Alright. Okay, so there we go. We've got this perfectly now, so let's start this one again.
Yeah, man.
To everyone on YouTube, I apologize about the audio issues. Just when you think you understand a computer, it really knows how to stuff
Yeah.
you up. Alright, so to everyone out there, I've got Will from Royal Canadian Reptiles. Yeah, well, we've already started this discussion, so let's start it all over again.
It's all good, man.
Alright, so, well, you were asking about the South African market.
Yeah.
So, as I was saying to you before everyone else couldn't hear, um, I've been in the industry in South Africa for about 20 something years. And the market has gone from strength to strength. We've got one annual expo called the SOS Reptile Expo. It's been running. If our organizers actually come online, maybe they can correct me on this. I think this has been running for also a good 16 odd years.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's gone from strength to strength, and we've actually got it set up to be at Empress Palace, which is one of the biggest hotel casinos in Southern Africa, or in South Africa. It's a well-known casino.
Damn.
So
That's sweet.
yeah, hopefully you can come through and come
I
check
would
it out
love
one
to
of
do
these
that.
days.
I'm really like, what I would love to do is start to like see these other shows.
Mm.
You know, I've seen a lot of the North American stuff. I've done the whole Tinley and Arlington and the CRB and all that stuff. I've been to all those shows, but I've never done a European show. But I've never. I mean, South Africa would it's a place I'd love to go, regardless of a reptile expo. But a reptile expo is a good reason to go too. So it's like a good reason to get me there.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
But one of the advantages of it is the floor size of our expos is a lot smaller than like Tinley and the ones that you used to. I'll probably say it's about an eighth of the size.
Okay.
But it's very, very well attended. I think on average we get about 4, maybe 5,000 people through a day.
Okay.
And which is still very good, because I mean the reptile industry in Southern Africa is still very specialized.
Sure.
There's a lot of phobia around reptiles in this country.
Okay.
It's just due to cultural beliefs and stuff like that. But so people are slowly learning, and people are coming out of that. It just takes the time. But as you were saying, you've seen some epic stuff coming out of South Africa within the ball python hobby and that, which is true. I mean, there's some awesome stuff coming through at the moment.
Yeah, I've seen a handful of stuff where I was like, some of the stuff that you make, and I'm like, damn, dude, like it's the like the advancement of some of the projects was totally caught me off guard.
Yeah.
In Canada, we always look to the States. It's like, oh, you guys are the ones that are doing the not advancing. It's the wrong word, but you guys are the ones that are like coming out with the new combos, the new
Like
genetic.
leading the industry almost.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I mean, it's still true to an extent, but I think it's less true than it ever has been.
Yeah. No,
I
definitely.
think there's lots of other places doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, all I'm gonna say is you definitely leading the game on the puzzle industry, which is really, really awesome. I mean, when you sent me that picture of that pastel desert ghost puzzle, I literally had to like wipe up the drool off my table.
Yeah, that one worked out really well. I'm excited about that project because it's just, I just knew that Puzzle and Desert Ghost would work. It's just one of those like a super high contrast gene like the Desert Ghost, and then the puzzle with the crazy busy pattern. I mean, it's just bound to be fireworks, and it turned out really well. Really well.
Agreed. Well, I must say in our country here, we seem to be focused very big on the axanthic and the hypo stuff.
Okay.
So the South African community are going to enjoy my guest next week, Chris from Pilgrim Casa Reptiles. He's very big into his
Okay.
Xanthic stuff. So I know the people in South Africa are going to be thrilled to ask him some questions. There's one breeding team. They're very big on the Xanthic. Ball Python Morphs, Rusty and Wally. They've definitely led the industry on the Xanthic stuff. Some of the stuff that they're pushing out, I mean, yeah, I don't think they've even showed face publicly in the States. I know some breeders have probably got them hidden in their collection, but haven't displayed them publicly.
So, are they working VPI or TSK?
They're working. So the market in South Africa is very VPI dominant.
Sure.
TSK showed its head, but it seems to have faded out. But VPI is very big here. And then
that's what I work with too, is VPI.
Yeah, and then
I don't do a ton of Xanthic stuff, but we're working towards the Desert Ghost Xanthic combos for sure.
Now I've been watching your page.
Yeah.
But definitely the black Xanthics are also appearing in the country from certain breeders, so I'm excited about those projects. Those are going to be really, really cool. We've actually got a question here for you at the moment, Will. Do you agree with the idea of us using your market prices as a template for coming up with ours? So basically, the way we've always run things is we've always looked at the US market prices and the Canadian market prices and try to establish a common ground rather than trying to undercut ourselves and undercut everyone else. So is that something you would recommend, or I know it's a bit of a tough question.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard because it's one of those things where, like, I don't know how. It totally depends on if you're selling them, right? But at the same time, I think that we're pretty much have come to, like, it's almost like a global market. It's not just necessarily the U.S. or Canada or Europe or whatever. It's sort of like a pastel puzzle is worth this much in Canada. It's worth the equivalent in the US, the equivalent in South Africa, the equivalent in Europe, and it just, you have to. Yeah. I think it's more of a global scale thing than regional.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So,
the reason why we ask is a lot of us sit on Morph Market, and then we can actually jump between the US, European, and there's a South African market on Morph Market as well. I don't know if you've checked that out.
Right. Yeah, no, I've been looking at the European Morph Market, and then I saw that they have a South African tab on there as well. And the cool thing about flipping around there is you find some genes that may be established in South Africa, but nobody has them here.
Yeah.
Right. So I actually do play around with that. I don't necessarily do it a lot, but once in a while I'll definitely flip through. I don't really spend that much time on Morph Market, to be honest. I like the site; it's very helpful. But I don't spend too much time browsing. I normally, like, realistically, I normally find snakes from people that I already know. I know the specific animal's coming. I know they have a clutch for it. Then we make a deal on it.
Yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ruffle some feathers here a little bit.
Oh boy.
But I want to get your perspective on this whole cryptic clown story before anyone jumps the gun on this, because I know you are sitting with that Desert Ghost, Orange Dream, cryptic head clown male.
Right.
Now, are you going along the lines of saying they're allelic as well, like everyone is saying?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I mean, it makes sense. The reason it's popping up in all this clown stuff, like, if you look at how much of it's popped up in the last 2 years, it seems like everyone all of a sudden is having it. Like, it's, not everybody, but there's a lot of people that just all of a sudden they're making kryptons. And I think the reason for that is because everybody's going clown heavy, and so the clown is expressing the cryptic gene, and that's what you're getting. That's why you're seeing so much of it, because everyone's working clown. That when clown hits that specific animal, bang, you get the kryptons.
Yeah,
but
go.
I'm not gonna work really cryptics. I don't really care about the visual homozygous pure cryptic. It doesn't. If people want to work with it, I mean, go for it. But for me, it's not. That's not what the goal is. The goal is to use kryptons as an identifier for heck clowns.
Yeah.
That's the.
Because the way I look at it is because you're so heavy on puzzle, you've already got that gene that crazes up the pattern, and cryptic does a similar thing. So I understand why you won't be going so heavy with the cryptic, just due to the fact you've got the puzzles.
Right, and I've heard some people say that they think that they look very similar, and I think what you'll start to see is, as you start to see the combos, at first I was like, oh, okay, is cryptic and puzzle like very, very similar? And I started to see some combos that show huge differences. Yeah. So the Mojave one was the one that I was like, okay, that combo alone tells me it's completely different.
Yeah.
Because the Mojave cryptic looks absolutely nothing like a Mojave puzzle, like not even close. And I think, and same with like all the lesser stuff. The puzzle has a huge interaction with Mojave and lesser and all that stuff, but cryptic doesn't really do much with lesser and Mojave, and it's really reactive with pastel. I have no idea how reactive it'll be with Orange Dream. I can say that our Orange Dream Krypton doesn't look anything like an Orange Dream puzzle does.
Oh no, definitely.
It's significantly different. But I could see how people like in their base form or in fairly basic combos, they could see that they look similar. But I think as we get further and further and further down the line, making more combos, you're going to start to see the huge differences between the two.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, I mean, I think I've shown you my Desert Ghost Cryptic female that I landed up by mistake.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's definitely... So we'll know what a visual Orange Dream Desert Ghost Cryptic will look like in a few years, because I'm definitely pursuing that project, because Orange Dream and Desert Ghost, I think, were made for each other. But
yeah, they work really well.
Yeah. I mean, the one that you've got, that's Head Clown, dude, that's what's driven my passion for producing it, is just from seeing yours. And
yeah.
So it's you've given me an idea on where I want it to go. So that's also what I like doing, is I also like looking at other people's pages to get a feel of where they are, to come up with a direction I want to go. So
right.
it all just takes time in that. We've got a message from a good friend of mine, Gavin. He's to say he's crazy over hypo is underselling it.
Yeah.
So he
loves it.
Oh, he loves it. If he could make everything a hypo, he would make everything a hypo. I think if he could make
I'm that way with Desert Ghost.
Yeah, I think if he could make his fiance a hypo, he probably would. So he says, what's your opinion on the greatness that is hypo?
On the which?
The greatness that is hypo. As I said, he loves his hypo genes.
Oh, the greatness that is hypo.
Yes.
I don't know if he wants to have that conversation with me. What's his opinion on the King Desert Ghost? No, I do like hypo. I think there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. Like there's some really, really cool hypo combos. I just never have I've always just had a hard time with hypo. And that maybe stems because when we started with hypo, it was like pastel hypo, lesser hypo, pastel lesser hypo. And they just weren't. And then you started to see the Desert Ghost versions, and I was like, pastel Desert Ghost, pastel lesser Desert Ghost. I was like, holy shit, this is just so much brighter.
Yeah.
And I think where they're different genes, right? But I think where the hypo has its huge strengths is in like really dark stuff. So like you start to get into like, you can almost do it sort of like what Justin did with Pompeii. Is he started doing like 3 genes plus a dark gene in clown, and you give this cool, crazy contrast animal. I think hypo is the same way. 3 brighteners and a dark gene in hypo, and you start to get into like really, really, like really cool looking animals.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't have a lot of hypo stuff, but I mean, I'm slowly building. But yeah, my main focus is the candy gene, as you've seen on my my page. I'm a little bit candy crazy. But yeah, we'll figure that one out down the road where that's gonna go. Um, just having a look here, just in case there's anything else. Okay, so nothing at the moment from the question, so we'll just keep an eye on that. But one of the animals that I've seen at your place, or not at your place, but like seen on Instagram and you posted, is the spot nose puzzle.
Yeah,
Now,
cool.
yeah, it is. I found the spot nose reacts with puzzle like it reacted with clown. It actually funkied the pattern up
Yeah,
even more.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
was that a direction you were always going to go with it, or?
Well, we didn't actually produce it. A good buddy of ours, Dave Levinson, he produced the spot nose puzzle, and as soon as we saw it, we were like, we want that.
Yeah.
So we bought it, and then actually, what ended up happening is we bought her, and then the following year, we finally produced our own, and so we produced a spot nose puzzle last year. It absolutely, after seeing clown, we take a lot of obviously we take a lot of like inspiration, I guess. That's probably not the right word, but a lot of like ideas out of the clown project.
Yeah.
What works with clown? Does it work with puzzle? Right? They're both pattern changing genes. They both, clown may be a little bit more prone to changing. I don't know. We just haven't seen enough puzzle combos for me to make that call yet. I haven't there's only seen like 10, right?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to see, I'd love to see some more done with puzzle. We should see some cool stuff this year. Ozzy's been doing some wicked stuff already this year with it. But spot nose, I think, is just one of those genes that's like, I think it's gold with pretty much everything it touches.
Yeah.
And it just works really, really well with puzzle and in clown. And if it even works half as good as it does in clown, then you're laughing, because there's so many cool combos with spot nose that you can do in puzzle.
Well,
I'd love to see, see how like spot nose yellow belly fire clown like totally blushes out, like it gives you like this crazy flaming, really cool like burnt kind of look down the back. I'd love to see that same combo in puzzle. Instead of having the dorsal, you get like the sides all crazy. So yeah. We'll get there. It's just going to take a bit of time.
With any project, it takes that time frame. But you definitely are leading the game in the puzzle stuff. And I mean, I think you and I have had a chat about puzzles a few times. And I mean, I definitely want to get in on that project. But going back to like the spot nose, when you look at it, before spot nose was touched by clown and that, it was almost like a dying gene. Nobody was really interested in it. And another one is like red stripe. Red stripe was also a very underrated gene until the combo started coming through. And so the main question I think I should be asking is, when are you making us the red stripe puzzle?
Next year.
Next year?
Yeah, hopefully. Oh, you'll see some cool. Maybe even go for like the red stripe spot nose puzzle. Start your way into that direction.
That could be really awesome.
Yeah, it could. There's lots of stuff that we can do. Now that we're getting to the point where the puzzle project's maturing a little bit, and so you're starting to see like we're starting to have more options with what we are able to do. So you're gonna start to see like we're gonna maybe try for some blackhead puzzle stuff, cypress puzzles, some specials, red stripes, spot nose combos. I mean, obviously leopard. I'd like to see what the Batman does. Like not necessarily the spot nose puzzle clown,
but more like
the leopards, but just the leopard spot nose puzzle. Yes. See if that has a similar bust up the pattern, make a really crazy looking animal. But I think it's going to be a gene. I think there's going to be a gene in puzzle that changes everyone's opinion on it. I think it's just going to happen.
Can I just ask one favor? If you produce the puzzle spot nose leopard, please call it Robin, so we can have Batman and Robin in our collections.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a bad dad joke. I apologize.
Yeah, I like that though. Yeah.
Well, you've actually got some questions here. So, what does it take for overseas market breeders to import snakes from South African market breeders, or will they rather stick to their local market? I think you kind of touched on that, where it's a case of if you see something that you don't have, then you'll definitely be looking at it.
Yeah, I actually have never, I've never tried to buy anything out of South Africa. There's lots of stuff there that I'd love to get my hands on. I just don't know how that works. Generally, the way it works is the producer, at least the way it works here, is if I produce a snake that you want, I arrange, I have to do the paperwork in order to, the CITES paperwork in order to ship it. So in order for me to buy out of South Africa, the breeder in South Africa generally needs to have the CITES paperwork.
Yeah. So basically, the roles are reversed.
Right. So if I were buying from you, you would have to supply the CITES paperwork. I if I could do it for you, I would, but I'm not able to.
No.
Right? It's like it's under your name. It's your animal that you were produced, and you're the one shipping it.
Yeah.
I'm just receiving it. That's all that it is. And then if I were sending to you, I have to do the paperwork that I produced it, and I'm sending it, and that's all under my name, and you just pick it up at the airport.
Yeah. Unfortunately, from our side, is once you've got the CITES created and you're shipping to me, I have to get a CITES document as well, and then it's vet clearance checks because. Yeah, I've done it on my own before, and I did it at the ripe old age of 21, not knowing anything.
Yeah.
Just that to get that into this country took nearly a year from the time I bought it to the time I received the animal.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, but this is back in the day when, like faxes were the big thing. You know what I mean? Like you had to fax CITES documents and that.
Justin sends to the States quite often, or sorry, he's in the States. Justin sends to South Africa fairly often, doesn't he?
He does. We actually received the shipment at the start of the year from him. Yeah.
So that's like, it's obviously not impossible to do.
Yeah.
No, so like, listen, if he can do it, I can do it.
The process has definitely improved from, I'm going back to 2008. So
right, as far as the actual shipping itself goes, like if someone maybe if they have different rules in the States, so I don't know if the States is a little bit more relaxed on it, but I'm sure that if we looked at how to get stuff to South Africa, we could figure it out. It's not that complicated. It's just paperwork.
Yeah, it's the paperwork that's the hardest. Well, here's another one for you as well. How do you guys manage to build the industry so big on your side?
How do
you build the industry so big on your side?
I don't understand, and I'm not sure I understand the question.
So I'm hoping I'm interpreting this correctly. What were the steps that the Canadian breeders went to get so many people involved in the industry and the hobby? I think that's what the person's trying to ask.
Okay. Honestly, not anything special. All it takes, it's like, it happens organically, right? It's not like you're always telling people like, hey, you should be getting snakes. Hey, you should be getting snakes. That it happens when, a couple different guys can spark that fire. I think Mark Mandic was a huge spark under that.
Yeah.
And basically he, at least for us, he was like the guy when we started.
Yeah.
And he just was producing really cool snakes, and the same way we all fall into it. You stumble into this like, hey, I'm gonna get a ball python, and then everyone gets the ball python because it's like the easiest. Well, I shouldn't say easiest. They're picky eaters sometimes, but docile, impressive size, easy care requirements. They're fairly easy to take care of. So everybody gets one because they're a handleable snake. You're not worried about them hurting you or anything like that. And they're an impressive enough size, and they're some cool patterns.
Yeah.
And then everybody gets their snake, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, ball python on Google, and then boom, they stumble across the colors and the patterns and the morphs and the breeding, and then it's a rabbit hole, and you just go down that rabbit hole and you never come out of it.
Well, I mean, that's how I started. Like,
right. That's how everyone starts.
I'm going back to when, like, the early 2000s, when I came across the breeders like Rolf Davis and there was another breeder, Exotics by Nature. I can't think of his first name now.
Sean Bradley.
Sean Bradley. I came across their websites right at the very beginning. I'm like, I saw the pod for the first time, and then I don't quite know.
Right?
It was just like, and then I come back into my collection like, hey, I've got a normal, and it's like,
yeah,
but
they all come from Africa.
North Africa, above the equator.
Yeah.
I must say, like, my very first import was from Rolf Davis, and I got the lesser gene from him. I got a pair of head clowns, head red axanthic, and his line of yellow belly, the goblin line.
Goblins, yep.
And when that shipment arrived at the airport, now the thing about South Africa is the moment an animal lands in the country, it has to go into quarantine for 30 days, which has to be checked by the state vet and signed off. So it can't just go from the airport into your collection. It's I think that's one of people's biggest bugbears about importing animals is that 30-day quarantine period. But I transported those animals from the airport to the quarantine facility. By all rights, I should not have opened that container. I don't care telling this now. That's 12 years later. I freaking...
You opened.
I didn't open it.
Of course.
I just tore that box apart. I had no knife to cut the tape. I was just ripping the box apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then get to the quarantine. Thankfully, there was no state vet there. Got into quarantine. The guy's like, I'm going to throw away your box before they arrive. I'm like, please do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got another question here. We've actually got two. So let's answer the easiest one first. All right. Sunset or monsoon?
Oh, man.
I
don't know. Okay, so
not easy.
My gut's gonna say, man, I'm gonna say sunset, but the monsoon is unproven in my eyes. The monsoon is busy. It's crazy patterned. They look really cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just, can we change that?
Yeah.
Can we change? It from what I'm seeing, it's like very powerful. So it like almost wipes everything out, and just like the monsoon always expresses. Can you get everything else to express as well? I don't know yet. So, right? We're gonna find out over the next couple of years. The sunset, I've seen enough combos now that you're starting to like see like, you know, sunset clown is visually a clown, which means that you're changing the pattern, and you're being able to manipulate that gene is the important thing. But I worry a little bit with monsoon. I'm sure someone's going to hit something that changes everything, and then it's wide open. But I just worry that it might be too strong.
Yeah, because
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Because like if you go look at Billy from Mutation Creation, he produced that leopard monsoon, and for monsoon to overpower leopard, and because leopard normally does the overpowering.
Right.
For monsoon to overpower leopard, that's something.
Yeah, it's you know, and maybe so. What I've always learned, Justin seems to prove it time and time again, is like someone will say like, okay, the leopard monsoon, you can't do anything else with it, and then you add fire and everything changes.
Yeah. And
then you add yellow belly and everything's completely different again. You know, it's so I wouldn't give up after that. That's for sure. It's still a cool looking animal. I think monsoon's going to do really well with like color mutation, super orange dream, fire yellow belly monsoon. It's going to be insane.
Yeah.
But what does it do with, you know, does it overpower clown? I know Roland made a fire moray clown, and I suspect moray and monsoon are the same thing.
Yeah. And that overpowers clown quite a bit. Right.
I just, you know, now monsoon hypo, probably going to look awesome. Monsoon Ultramel, probably going to look awesome. Those kind of combos are going to be incredible.
Where it's a color combo rather than a pattern combo.
Right. You can put color into it, but can you change the pattern? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Well, I'm sure someone will. Like, I always say, like, you can't do anything. And then boom. Nope. Yes, you can. Ball pythons, there's a back door to everything. You can always change something.
Agreed. Whenever you think you understand this hobby and understand the animals, somebody comes along just to change your mindset.
Yep.
Yep. So, a question from one of the people watching. Which new recessive gene do you think is likely to play a significant role in the future?
Can I say puzzle?
You can.
Yeah. I just think that, like, you know, one of the things about puzzle is that it's patterned, and we know that you are able to change it. That's for sure. So it may not be as changeable. It may not be like as crazy as some of the clown combos. But that's only the combos that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
I have a spot nose clown and a puzzle spot nose, and like I look at the two, and you're like, ooh, they're pretty, they're very cool in each in their own regard. I think there's going to be a lot to be done with the puzzle. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that puzzle is the next pattern changing mutation. And that's what everybody wants. It seems everybody wants new looks, and to get new looks, you need to change the pattern.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
As you say, puzzle at least can be changed, but without dominating over everything else.
Right.
So
right, yeah. I I may be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. We should find out this season. We had plenty of shots at some different new puzzle stuff, and you just hit on a couple, and I'm really excited to see what comes out of these eggs. But I suspect that puzzle's going to do something. It's going to be it's a pattern changer, that we know for sure.
Yeah.
So that's anytime I look at any gene that's a pattern changer that you're able to manipulate, that's the big one. So I think tri-stripe is one of those. I know we can manipulate that pattern. One of the problems with genetic stripe for the longest time has been you can't change the stripe. It's always stripe until you put clown in it, and then it broke it up.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything else that you can put in it, or does it always have to have clown in it?
Well,
I don't know.
Talking of genetic stripe, have you seen what het red axanthic does to genetic stripe? It basically makes it a near patternless animal.
Patternless, right.
So now talking about the patternless animal. Do you remember the patternless animal that Dave and Tracy Barker and Rolf Davis had? Now,
the VPI patternless. Yeah,
I see now that
the recessive gene. Yeah,
people are starting to push it out more. This is just obviously my opinion from what I've seen. I know I'm going to be corrected on this, and I can't wait to find out the answers myself. But if you have a look near the tail, it always brings a little bit of pattern in, and always looks like a genetic stripe pattern. I don't know if you've picked that up.
No, I haven't.
So I've often thought, are the patternless and the genetic stripe linked in some way? Because that could be quite interesting, because when you take het red axanthic and put it to genetic stripe, a pattern busy versus like something like pattern neutral in genetic stripe, all of a sudden it's a patternless animal. And it shouldn't do that if you think about it. But go have a look at the patternless and the genetic stripe. There's a lot of similarities in my eye, so it kind of makes me wonder, is patternless just a more extreme version of the genetic stripe? But it's still also in its infancy, so we can't go ahead and throw yes or no's at it yet.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever throw a yes or no at something.
Yeah.
I think every time Justin's proven that time and time again. Now, with the recessive genes, a little bit different, but for example, like everybody had given up on chocolate. Everyone had given up on red stripe and spot nose, and those three things are amazing in clown.
Yeah.
So and what may happen is something that everyone's given up on in clown works in monsoon. Something that everyone's given up on in puzzle works really well in sunset. You don't know, just because a gene works well with clown doesn't mean it'll work well with a monsoon, and vice versa. Like you could have a gene that really interacts really cool with monsoon and doesn't work at all in clown.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to find those genes, and it's just all trial and error.
Well, talking of those type of combinations, my main question to you next is, when are you bringing us the tri-stripe puzzle?
Oh, wow. A while. Yeah. I haven't even started that. So.
Okay.
But it'll be in the works.
I should know that one with you, that it will be in the works.
Yeah, it'll be in the works, and I think we may jump the tri-stripe puzzle and try and go right for the Desert Ghost tri-stripe puzzle.
Okay, now we're talking. Definitely talking now.
Yeah, make it clean, right? Make it bright and clean while you're at it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Why not? If you can do it, do it. So this is a question. I don't know if you want to answer it or if we can answer it together. It's, what's the future for genetic stripe clown?
the beauty about this is that
It's limitless.
what's the future? What's exactly what you make it? Make whoever's asking that question, they have the potential to make the future for genetic stripe clown.
Yeah.
You have all the time in the world to go and find the right combo for that specific double recessive. It's literally endless. Every single combo that you've seen in clown, you can do again in G stripe clown, and you're gonna get a different look. Every single combo you've done in, it just doesn't end.
Well, I mean, I've seen the pastel G-stripe clown, I've seen the monarch G-stripe clown, and I've seen the desert ghost or enhancer G-stripe clown. And every one, the pattern is so different, so we can never actually understand or imagine what the animal's going to look like until we hatch it. But I've seen the pastel G-stripe clown and the G-stripe clown are very similar pattern-wise, just a little bit more yellow is brought in due to the pastel.
Which makes sense. Yeah.
So,
but I mean, what does a spot nose Enchi blackhead G-stripe clown look like?
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, who knows?
There you go.
You know, like,
for everyone watching, there's some projects for you.
Yeah, like, and then add red stripe, and then take blackhead out. Like it's it's endless.
Yeah, that's what I love about this is it is it's a hobby that has endless potential. There is no end in sight because
no.
I mean, I could, not that I'll ever get there as quickly as to catch up with you, but I mean, I can produce a pastel Desert Ghost puzzle and it will look nothing like yours. You can give us an indication of what it's going to look like, but it all depends on the animals themselves. And that, I think, is 100%. What I enjoy the most.
100%. And the other thing is, like, if you jump into the Desert Ghost puzzle project, I can't cover it all. Like, I can't. There's so many combos that I can't. Like, you could go spend the next 15 years just doing, like, blackhead, red stripe, blackhead, red stripe, fire, Desert Ghost puzzle combos. You use those 3 genes as your base, and you add 1 gene. You take 1 out. You put another 1 in. And then you still have to hit the odds and all that stuff.
I think the odds of winning the lotto will probably be higher than us finding an end in this industry.
And and all that just happens is it just gets more and more and more and more complicated.
Yeah.
And more difficult to tell you for sure that's are in these animals.
No,
like,
definitely.
IDing, it's getting to the point where IDing is going to become, it's my best guess.
Yeah.
This is what the parents are.
That's what IDing at the moment is. It's a very well-educated guess. It's never a best guess. Right. It's just an educated guess. So, this question, I don't quite know if you want to answer it because I know how your focus isn't on any of the amelanistic stuff. So, what do you think the next big project in Ultramel will be?
In Ultramel?
Yeah.
I mean, Ultramel clowns, for sure. I would say Ultramel puzzle. One of the things that I always look at is that you take like a gene like lavender or a gene like axanthic or a gene like Ultramel. It's a color-based gene. You're not really changing pattern with Ultramel or lavender or axanthic or hypo or desert ghost or any of those along those lines. And then you take that and you put it with a pattern gene. So now you can get that like Ultramel look, and then you can start to change the pattern with the clown, or you can start to change the pattern with the puzzle, or with the monsoon, or with the sunset, or with the, that's what I would say for Ultramel. It seems to work really well with dark stuff. So, blackheads, super black pastel, I wouldn't go super black, but black pastel, mahogany combos. I think Wookiee combos into Ultramel could be cool. It's really just, I think that you have to, instead of like hoping that we find the next best thing, like go out and try and make it. Like go out and be like, okay, this is what I think is going to look cool in Ultramel, and then go make it and prove to everybody else that, it did look cool. It does look awesome.
Yeah.
There's lots of...
I actually know the person who asked me the question. He's actually, the one evening, I don't know if he had too much to drink or whatever, but he actually drew out a 10-year plan of his final dream Ultramel combo and sent it to me. And let me tell you one thing, I'm not going to discuss it on air because I think I'll probably get stabbed in my sleep because he knows where I live. Um, Alex, I'm joking, man. We all love you. Don't stress. Um, he, but yeah, basically he's got the vision and he's going to go with it. He's that type of person. Once his
Good.
mindset is there, he will do it.
Yeah,
And
that's super important. You just and it can be an evolving kind of plan too, right? Like, I don't know what his plans are, but let's say he wants to make a super blackhead red stripe Enchi ultra male.
yeah,
And then he starts to realize 3 years down the road that it doesn't need to be super red stripe. Just one dose of red stripe is fine. That's an evolving plan. Like it can change and go in different directions as you start to see the combos, as you get closer and closer to that goal.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. So I mean, yeah, it does take a lot of time and effort. I mean, I think I've discussed some of the candy projects that I want to work towards with you. I can't remember if it was you or if it was somebody else that I chat to on Instagram quite a bit. I started with an idea at the start of this year of my pairings for next year, and I've already changed it 5 times based on what I can understand from seeing other combos of late, of what works and what doesn't work. And that's something that people need to take in. As you said, it needs to evolve, it needs to change. You shouldn't just be fixed with what you want to do. So
Right. Yeah. I think everything's like an evolving plan. One of the reasons Miguel's name's also always evolving. Like it's kind of real. Like, it's a true thing.
yeah,
Everything's always changing. One year you're really feeling this project and you're working hard at it, and then something happens in the project and it's not going in the direction you like, you can change directions with it.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world, But one of the things is that just like I've seen so many people give up on projects, and that's where you lose. Is when you give up. When you stop trying to make it. These guys keep sorry about that.
No, that's cool.
My phone's going. It's when you give up is when you lose.
Yeah.
It's just like, you stop trying, and that's when the project sort of fizzles out and nothing happens because you stop trying to make it.
Yeah. I mean, prime example as well is like you're talking about giving up on projects. Go look at, as we've discussed, at the red stripe. It nearly became extinct in a sense because nobody was working with it. And then all of a sudden somebody saw a potential in it. And then, I mean, who would have thought red stripe and cypress makes that animal, that combo? And it's like...
That's such a cool combo.
Yeah. If I'm lucky, I might have one for you this coming year. A powerhouse one too.
Next season, I'll let you know. Next season, we're going to be doing pastel red stripe het puzzle to a pastel cypress het puzzle. So
okay, you just know how to like kill the vibe, kill the mood.
Yeah, it's just like I'm just as excited, I'm just like that could be a wicked cool combo. Who knows?
You just got to promise me one thing on that clutch. As soon as you cut that egg, if you hit the combo, I'm the first person you send the photo to.
Yeah.
You can send the snake as well, but a photo will be just as good.
Sounds good, bro. Yeah, I got
you. So we've discussed some of the ideas and breeding, and you've mentioned quite a few co-dominant stuff like your red stripes, your enchies, and your blackheads. So one of the comments here is, what's your top 3 co-dom and top 3 recessives that's a must in a collection? So what are your top 3 suggestions for a collection or somebody starting out?
Orange Dream.
Okay.
Oh man, Orange Dream at this point. Okay, so I'm gonna go OD, Enchi, and you know what? Let's say Blackhead.
Okay.
The reason and the reason that I say those is because they all have wicked supers.
Yeah.
So one of the problems is Spot Nose. Spot Nose is amazing. Leopard, also amazing. Super Leopard looks like a leopard. It's not enough. So if you had to like handcuff me to say like you can only work with these, I want something where I can I'm still working with Orange Dream, but I'm making super Orange Dreams and super Orange Dream, super Enchy, super black. Like, you know, and the reason I said Orange Dream, Enchy, and Blackhead is because I think the Blackhead throws the contrast. Orange Dream and Enchy give you that crazy bright pattern or bright color, and then, you know, just crazy cool stuff. And then for the recessive side, I'd probably say Desert Ghost, Clown, and then Puzzle, bro. Puzzle.
I was waiting for you to say the Holy Trinity: Desert Ghost, Clown, and Pied.
Yeah, I'm not a Pied guy. I like Pieds. I definitely do. I just find them limited.
Yeah.
Limiting. They don't get me wrong. Pieds are incredible. Like they look so good. Like some of the combos are they're stupid. They look so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then you hit Pieds that are high white, and I'm like, it has so much potential to look cool, but it's all white.
Yeah.
And I hit a Desert Ghost Pied last year that's like 95% white, and I was like, come on, Desert Ghost, you want to see it, right? Desert Ghost brightens and cleans and looks so cool. I'm like, why? It's not as cool when it's all white. I can make a white snake very, very easily. I don't need a 1 in 16 shot at a white snake, you know?
Well,
so
you're one of your first Desert Ghost Pied females. That's the awesome ratio between white and pattern.
Right.
And
she's like a 50-50. That's a cool Pied.
Yeah.
50-50, 75-25. But any more than 50% white, and I start to get like, very cool. But a lot of Pieds I see, they're white with like a little blotch this big on the back. And yes, they're powerful. Would I love to have them in my rack and grow them up? Yeah, I'd love to breed them. But like hatching them day in and day out. And Pied, I think, makes people have to work a little smarter. I don't really have to work that smart because I know that everything's reactive with Desert Ghost, Clown, and Puzzle. Yeah. Everything reacts. You get something happening.
Yeah.
And with Pied, you have to be like, oh, don't put spider. Okay, don't put spot nose. Don't put lesser. Don't put this. Don't put that. Don't put, you know, because you run the risk of making higher and higher and higher white Pieds.
Yeah.
Black pastel seems to go high white Pieds with black pastel. Leopard can throw high white Pieds. Lots of different things are throwing high white, and so you have to be very selective with what you're putting in. If I were going heavy with Pieds, I would go like Enchy and like all of them.
Yeah,
because it brings pattern back into it. Yeah. So right now we have a Desert Ghost Pied to a pastel super Enchy Pied. So I'm trying to get Enchy into the Desert Ghost Pied so that I can always be having Enchy in there and keeping the
pattern,
the low white. Yeah.
No, that's
because
definitely
really
the route I would have gone.
Right?
No, agreed.
What's that?
I said that's the same route I would have gone as well. So we're getting people say, make us a puzzle Pied. No, make us an Enchy puzzle Pied.
That's going to be cool. I've got the double hats. They're growing up now. Enchy double hats, yeah. So eventually I'll put them back together and go super Enchy puzzle Pieds. See what happens.
That will be cool when that comes through. I'm excited for that.
Super long shot there. That's like a 1 in 64 chance or something. Yeah.
Yeah, my brain's not working. It's max.
Yeah, 1 in 64. It's not a good shot, but if you have a shot at bat, you know, you're not going to hit the ball unless you swing. So
correct. I was just trying to see here. Okay, so we pretty much answered the questions that have come through so far. My next question I'm going to ask, because I've seen a little bit of talk about this, I'm not 100% convinced myself, is that people are spreading rumors and saying that, or not spreading rumors, but there's whispers of the Enchy gene fitting into the cinnamon black pastel complex.
Ooh, that's a good question. I've never hatched an Enchy cinnamon. Or an Enchy black pastel. I've never even tried. I just never been a thing. I never really worked much with cinnamon or black pastel. Or really, I didn't really work that much with Enchy either, to be honest. And that was a grave mistake because Enchy's really cool. But from the pairings that I've seen other people have, it looks like it. Like when you're breeding an Enchy cinnamon such and such to an Enchy cinnamon to a fire, and the only combos that you get in that are all Enchy and all cinnamon in the clutch, one or the other, covers the entire clutch.
Yeah.
And you never hit Enchi cinnamons. I mean, and you never hit normals.
I would never have thought that, because as I said, I've heard whispers of it, and
me either.
Yeah.
Who would think that those are allelic? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Now, is it proven? No, it's a theory.
Yes.
And there's lots of people with working theories. You know, I have working theories on lots of genes. Like the cryptic and the clown was one for a while. Why is this happening? And then you start to work into the allelic section, the allelic side of things, and it's still a working theory. We have not 100% proven that to be true.
Yeah.
And the worst part about an allelic combo like that is all it takes is one egg to disprove everything.
Correct. And that
one egg.
Yeah.
You could have 25 eggs that say this is how it works, and then one egg disproves all 25 of those.
Correct. So until we see the final result, then that's something we're going to be looking at. Okay,
I mean, the cryptic and clown thing, I'm pretty solid on that one.
Yeah.
I've seen people breed visual clown to visual cryptic, and everything comes out looking krypton. And then I've seen krypton to krypton. Everything is visual in the clutch. Yeah. Krypton to clown. Everything is visual in the clutch.
Well,
how many times did you see it?
Yeah. So talking of that type of thing, one of my mates here in Durban actually lucked out big time. He bred a clown to a phantom female, and the phantom female.
Proved that clown?
No, the phantom female proved to be het cryptic.
Oh, beauty!
So yeah. He's hit on some phantom cryptics. He's hit on, kryptons. Like, he sent me a photo of the egg, and I said to him, I told him straight, do not show anyone yet. Let's wait for them all to come out. And I went over to his place after their first shed, and like I'm trying to work out how much I'm going to offer him to buy the clutch and buy the mom, and I never did get there, but I think he's probably watching this. He's going, haha, for you, the price is going up like 100-fold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
So here's another one. The people love the axanthic gene, so I'm assuming around here in South Africa, because obviously everyone here loves the axanthic gene. What do you think would be the future for VPR? Should we try and invest more into other lines of axanthic, like red axanthic or MJ? Well, red axanthic isn't actually a recessive gene; it's incomplete dominant, but we can get onto that chat later. So
yeah. What to do with VPI axanthic? Right away, Desert Ghost, man. It makes the axanthic what you wish it was in the first place. Like VPI axanthics have a tendency to brown out a bit. Desert Ghosts reverse that. Yeah. It makes them silver and black again. They look incredible. And with size, like that's a project that I'm gonna go like I'm heading that way for sure.
Yeah.
Desert Ghost axanthic. We've already got like some really cool projects started in that direction.
I know some of them, hopefully, because I think I know some of the stuff that you're hiding.
Yeah, like I got triple het, axanthic, Desert Ghost clowns. I've got a clown double het, DJ axanthic. So we're heading in the right direction. But I just think that Desert Ghost axanthic, like you can, like a pastel Desert Ghost axanthic clown is gonna be like a black and white clown, like real black and white.
Yeah, like an old age photograph.
Yeah, like exactly like a monochrome photo, like incredible. And that's where, and the thing is that it's black and white and gets more and more and more and more contrasted instead of just like an axanthic clown and then they grow and then they get kind of brown. The Desert Ghost axanthic clown, I figure, will start off like black and white as a baby and just get like a creamier, like almost like bone white with a really, really rich black. But I mean, Jake Milbrandt's hatched a bunch of Desert Ghost axanthic. You're starting to see Desert Ghost axanthic popping up because I think a lot of people are starting to clue in that that's a cool direction. It's still, again, limiting. You're always going to have black and white, right? It's always you're not going to have color, but it's like the true, like that's probably the highest form of contrast that you can make.
No, definitely.
Like an orange dream fire, super OD fire, Desert Ghost axanthic. That's probably as like high contrast of an animal as we can make right now.
No, definitely. I think there's a lot to go on, but I also think the The person was also asking as well, like, in your opinion, which line would be better? Because obviously, you've got you who loves the VPI. The VPI is very dominant here, and then you get I can't think of his name, who does all the SK line Xanthics and Jeremy Doug. Jeremy Doug.
Yeah.
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 So you got him focused in on the SK line. We've got I actually forgot to mention that we do have the MJ line here in South Africa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, I mean, I guess that what it comes down to is they're all going to achieve similar results. You know, it's all going to be very similar results with those snakes. So what I would do is, like, if you have half a rack full of Xanthic stuff or VPI stuff, I'd keep working with VPI.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna reap the rewards of that project that much quicker. If you are just starting an Xanthic project, I would take a look. If in South Africa, VPI is the primary line of Xanthic, then I'd stick with VPI still, because you want to have a market to move your animals. Very hard to move a new line of Xanthic that's no one's working with, and you have to start fresh.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the reasons that I don't work with TSK or MJ. I work with strictly with VPI because I don't want to have 4 different lines of Xanthic that's all getting me towards the same goal, but they're not compatible with each other.
Yeah.
As your collection develops and develops and develops, you're going to start to be like, oh, this is Het VPI and that's a VPI. I can put these two together, and then you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so I mean...
give me 1 second here. What's going on here?
Losing signal.
Yeah.
Well, in South Africa, we call it the data struggle.
The which one?
The data struggle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. We'll wait for you to come back on camera because there's actually 2...
There we go.
There you go. You're
Should have
back.
got it. Figured out there.
All right. So here's one for you. What would you suggest adding to G-Stripe, pattern and color?
Clown. So far for what I'm seeing, like clown, G-Stripe clowns are crazy nice.
Yeah.
They're really cool. You're getting different patterns. You're getting different, and then in color, like whatever colors you like. Do you like yellow? Go like high on the pastel side. If you like that really, really crisp yellow, like a pastel desert ghost G-Stripe clown's gonna look incredible. Then do you love the orange stuff? Head towards the orange dream direction. Do you love darker stuff? You can start to mix darker morphs with like a red stripe blackhead G-Stripe clown. Who fucking knows, man? It's
endless.
Like, but for me, if I'm working G-Stripe, I'm gonna put clown. Personally, I'm gonna put puzzle because I want to see that reaction. And maybe it'll break the pattern too. I don't know. But we know the clown does already, so that's already proven. No. So I would definitely head in that direction for sure.
Agreed. Now, this next question here is, this we can go on for hours and hours just based on this question alone. I have a Coral Glow Enchy Cinnamon male. So there we go. We can use this person to help us with our theory here about Cinnamon Enchy. So Spiker, you're going to be helping us with this, man. You're going to help us find out the answer. Your recommendation for a good female excluding recessives. I want to say Enchy.
Well, I want to say Enchy as well, but I also want to say just like breed it to a normal for it's a male. Breed it to a normal right now, so we can like more clutches of this cinnamon Enchy thing, because it doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't understand how it could be. Yeah. But then at the same time, like all these experienced guys are hatching clutches of cinnamon Enchies and not repeating the Enchy or not repeating the cinnamon Enchy in it. So that part's crazy.
I think a super Enchy female, if that was available, that would help answer the questions even quicker.
Yeah, it would, because you can't get it. Theoretically, you can't get a cinnamon super Enchy.
Yeah. So if you see a cinnamon super Enchy looking type animal, we'll know.
Then that, yeah. But like a banana cinnamon Enchy, excluding recessives, I mean, you can't go wrong getting more pattern in there. Like, I don't think you could go wrong putting. I mean, something simple would be like a spot nose or a leopard or something along those lines. If you wanted to go a little bit more bright and a bit more, it's going to be a bit more of an investment to get that animal. But like Aussie made, so an Orange Dream Cypress to that would be insane. I know Aussie made a black pastel banana Orange Dream Cypress, and I was like, what the like. Yeah. That's ridiculous.
I actually still haven't
and
seen
I'm not a banana guy. I don't love bananas. I only have 2 in our entire collection, so it's not like a gene that I'm super focused on. I find like the Ultramel banana kind of stuff, it's just not my color palette. I don't love that light yellow and the purples. It's not really my thing. But there's just no denying the banana makes some insane combos.
Yeah.
There's no denying it. So I know that it works. I know that one of the combos that I was like, okay, that's legit, was Orange Dream, Black Pastel, Cypress, Banana. And like, wow.
Sold.
Wow.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So, well, I mean, that'd be a cool one for that male for sure.
Yeah. I definitely think Cypress will be coming onto our market within the next year or 2. I know a few people who've got it. I need to prove out one of my animals if it proves out to be Cypress or not. So we'll soon know this season. But yeah, so
Cypress is cool.
It is. It's got a lot of potential. Yeah. I'm super excited for it.
Works well with spot nose. I think Billy hit a Cypress spot nose clown last year. I think Justin's made a few of them, and they're like, they look good, man, for a clown combo.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, dude, there's a lot of direction to go with that. You can go, there's a ton of different things you could do.
Sorry, I'm also...
That is an Ultramel or a Lavender is going to look insane.
Yeah. Sorry, for some reason I thought you were about to pull out a cigarette. I was about to say you're going to be the most hated person in South Africa if you were about to light a cigarette.
No.
Yeah, so remember at the very start of this, I told you they had banned alcohol and then has phased it in.
Yeah.
They banned tobacco in South Africa at the start of our lockdown in last week of March.
Banned tobacco?
Yep.
What about like the people that actually were there? Obviously, there were smokers at the time. They must have gone crazy.
Oh yeah. You wouldn't be surprised. I mean, to give you an idea, so correct me if I'm wrong, smokers out there, I don't smoke, so I can't say. So basically, a loose cigarette you could buy between 50 cents and 1 South African rand. Now, if you can find somebody selling a loose cigarette, you're going to be paying 50 to 60 rand, like a loose cigarette, depending on who you're buying from. Obviously, there's guys ripping the shit out of it. But yeah. Yeah, so the illegal cigarette trade, if you want to make money, buy cigarettes and send them to South Africa.
Yeah, ship of them coming, yeah. That's crazy. So are they gonna reopen it for?
I don't know. So the reason for the ban, we've got some questions here. We'll get back to that one. So the reason for the ban is our, I don't know, minister of something. Her theory was that smoking the cigarettes were going to spread the COVID virus quicker because people shared the cigarettes. But let me tell you one thing, most smokers in South Africa are very anti-sharing a lit cigarette, but yeah. So yeah, enough about the joys that is South African politics. The one question is here, are you doing much work with bamboo?
I don't have any.
Okay.
I've none. I think it's a cool gene. There's lots of cool combos. I can't work with everything, you know?
Yeah.
And to have another animal that fell into the blue-eyed leucistic complex, I had enough, you know? I have a lot of lesser and Mojave and Phantom and all that sort of thing. So adding more to it, I'd just be a lot of the females. If I put it in a male, and I mean, I'd take a bamboo female combo of some kind, but I probably wouldn't have it in a male just because of the way my collection's set up. But someone else, it works great, right?
Yeah. and also just due to the fact that we were talking about very pattern dominating animals, and bamboo's one of those.
Right.
So yeah.
It's a cool gene. I remember when it came out. It was very cool.
Yeah. When we finished this this session, I'm going to send you a song. One of the listeners out there reminded me to send it to you. It explains our tobacco ban quite well.
Okay.
So one of the guys are commenting that I stated that coral glow and banana is going to be the next normal in our country.
Yeah.
Which I've done. I've said it before. I mean.
Yeah, I mean it's great. Like coral glows and bananas, they're so uniquely different in their base form from everything else. Like they're just so different. It's purple and yellow. Like nothing else is like that. It's not that nothing else is that different on its own. Other than a pied. Pieds are very on their own are very visual.
Yeah.
But that's I mean I guess if you continue, we get into monsoon. That's fairly different from everything else as well.
Yeah.
But just like for a $200 snake, there's nothing that looks like a banana. Nothing. It's just too cool. My problem with them was the whole sex link thing. But for the pet trade, like I know guys that produce 500 of them a year and sell all of them at $250 each. That's what they want to make. They're breeding super bananas to racks of normals just to make clutches of bananas.
Yeah.
That doesn't really excite me, but it's them. For them, it's supplying people that want them.
Yeah.
And it's, that's how much people want bananas because they're so cool. In a way, I wish I did have more banana stuff because I get messages all the time. Hey, do you have any banana stuff for sale? I'm like, no. They're like, oh, okay. Do you know anyone that does? I'm like, yeah, send them somewhere. But I wish I was like, yeah, I do actually. But it's never really been high on my priority list. Lots of other guys doing cool stuff with it, and they can keep working with it. I'll work with something else, Yeah.
Are you willing to share with us what the two banana females are at your place?
Yeah. So I've got the banana tri-stripe female and super pastel yellow belly banana puzzle female.
Wow, those are both power, and I mean.
Yeah, they're great, and I have them in female, so I don't have to worry about the sex link thing, right?
Well, at least the bonus is the boys that you get from that they'll mainly produce females. It sucks if you're doing
the female maker.
Yeah, it sucks if you're doing like recessive projects, but I mean females will always sell better than males lately. Right.
I mean, I'm okay with a female making banana male.
Yeah.
A female maker. Female maker because I always want to make females.
Yes.
We always want to make females, right? I mean, this year we could use some luck and get some good males, but like there's never a snake. How do you put this? There's never a time where you're like, you hatch a female and you're like, damn.
I wish it was
but
a boy.
There are times when you hatch a male when you're like, damn.
Yeah.
There's times when you hatch a male that you wish it was a female, but there are times when you hatch a female and you wish it was a male, but you don't really care because it's still a female.
Yes.
But there's times when you hatch a male that you might wish it. There's lots of times you hatch a male and you wish it was a female, but not nearly as many where you wish that female was a male. If that makes maybe sense. That's just
I know exactly what you're saying because I've never been through that. Like, listen, there's somewhere I go, I kind of wish you were a boy, but you know what? You're staying, so it's fine.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because what was it? I've heard somebody, and I've had this conversation with somebody before. If you've got a free tub in your rack and you've got to choose between a baby, you'll always take the female because they'll be useful in the rack.
Of course. Unless it's a really like hot shot male.
Yeah.
Then you're,
Yeah, but what I'm saying
the
is
males that are really good are like amazing.
Yeah.
And even the males that are like the best males in your collection, you still wouldn't mind having those as a female.
No, agreed. Yeah. So I mean, no, definitely. Talking of those projects, there was something I was going to mention about one of those. I'll come back to that one. you do have one lavender female in your collection, because I think you just posted her on eggs, if I'm not mistaken.
I got it. Yeah, no, we have a few lavenders. Yeah,
Okay.
we have a few. We got some like phantom lav, pastel lav stuff, and then we should this year. We just got a clutch this morning from a blackhead lav to a fire yellow belly het lav.
Okay.
So hopefully some cool blackhead. I don't know. Start that stuff. And then hopefully we hit some red stripe lavenders this year. That'd be
That's gonna be cool.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Because I mean, I don't know. I've seen the cypress lavender. I've seen the cypress ultramal. I haven't
Looks
seen,
good.
Yeah, I haven't. Don't think I can say I've seen a red stripe lavender.
I don't think it's been done. I know we got our mail from Justin, and I think he'll make way more combos than we do. But I think we might have eggs for it first. But
Okay.
Nothing's a race, you know. You get there eventually.
Yeah.
As long as you take the right steps, you'll always get there. Just whether it's this year or next year,
Well,
for the grand scheme, it doesn't matter.
yeah. But if you're going to do a awesome phantom lavender project, get GHI into the labs. I'll send you a photo. Mate of mine, he was actually a few weeks back on here. If you go look for Vimo ball patterns,
Okay.
on my channel, he actually hits the phantom GHI lavender.
Insane, probably.
Yeah, out of this world.
Yeah, I bet you that's just great. And then if you put like leopard into that, it'd just be, yeah.
Yeah. Again, we heading down that endless potential. So here's actually a really cool question, because I've been wanting to ask you about this gene, but we haven't come to it yet. So I'm going to say thanks to Gavin for hitting this question first. What direction do you see Wookiee going?
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
Man, anywhere that the dark stuff works is probably going to work.
Yeah.
I think it's going to. I think that Wookiee's a bit more similar to Blackhead than. I've heard some people say it's going to act like chocolate, but the chocolate, the Wookiee clown looks nothing like a chocolate clown. So, and the Wookiee Phantom doesn't look like a chocolate Phantom.
Yeah.
And Wookiee pastels don't look like chocolate pastels, but they also don't look like pastel blackheads, and doesn't look like a blackhead clown. It's uniquely different, you know.
It's like almost in the middle there, where you kind of always wanted an animal to be. It's just like slotted in there, right there.
Yeah, and Josh should prove if there's a super. So it's just one of those things that I'm excited about the Wookiee stuff. We actually have a clutch hatching out of it right now. Some Wookiee lessers and stuff like that.
Nice.
They look so cool. Like they're just Wookiee lesser is a wicked combo.
Okay.
So
here's one for you for a future project for that. So you've hit the lesser vanilla chocolate desert ghost, if I'm correct in saying that, or did I miss a gene?
Yes, we have. It was pastel, lesser, vanilla, and cheap chocolate.
Yeah. I say swap out that chocolate for the Wookiee.
Yeah, of course. Oh, we're on it. Yeah.
I should have guessed you're on it.
Yeah, for Wookiee Desert Ghost stuff, we're heading that direction for sure.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
and then
cool.
obviously puzzle, obviously clown.
Yeah.
Wookiee lavenders could be wicked too. I bet you it's gonna look good. Ultramel. I haven't seen a bad Wookiee combo yet.
No.
Like obviously, like it's not amazing in Lemon Blast. Like that's not the right combo for it. But neither is chocolate, neither is black pastel, neither is mahogany. None of those combos are good in Lemon Blast. Pastel and pin together with Wookiee don't really work that well, but it works. If you just take one gene out, they work well. So pastel Wookiees work okay. And then if you take the pastel out, Wookiee pins look really good. But if you have all three together, it's not the right mix of those three.
But I'm like, you talk like that, I'm finding it to be common as well, more and more, that pastel is actually messing up a lot of people's potential. I mean, I've chatted with a few guys where they say, I'm aiming for this. Unfortunately, I've got pastel. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and hope I don't hit pastel. And
so that's the case with a lot of dark stuff. Now, I don't necessarily like. I have a lot. We have a lot of pastel. So, I actually like pastel combos. I think a lot of them are overlooked. Obviously, people are looking to get like if you don't want yellow, don't put pastel in it. But if you're okay having yellow in there, I pastel's great. And then if you, for us, we just go, well, okay, it's pastel, but we're going to put it into Desert Ghost. And pastel and Desert Ghost is like peanut butter and jam. It's like, they're amazing together.
Yeah.
So you just, Desert Ghost it, and all of a sudden you're laughing. But don't get me wrong, like pastel definitely can muddy some stuff up. In darker combos especially, it does that pewtery, weird silver kind of look.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I wouldn't like eliminate pastel from your collection. Not a chance, actually. But I wouldn't try to have everything with pastel. I understand where they're coming from. We have I have some pairings this year where I'm like, I hope we miss pastel as well.
Yeah.
But then there's lots of pairings where you hope that pastel hits. So it's just what combo you're trying to hit,
It's like I have found that pastel works nicely in Desert Ghost. I'm seeing so many awesome Ultramel combos with pastel in. And pastel and Ultramel are really, really connected well. And then I'm just saying this because it's my biased opinion, but I don't care, is pastel and candy. They also, they don't look nice as a baby, but give them to about 200-300 grams, and that's when pastel and candy react nicely.
Just like lavender. Pastel lavenders are one of the nicest lavender combos, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're not super complicated, but they're really, really nice as adults.
Yeah.
Like really, really nice. They get really good purples. Pastel dreamsicles are one of the better dreamsicles. So I wouldn't throw pastel out the window just because it doesn't look good in dark combos and it doesn't. Yeah, like does it ruin if you're trying to make like super orange dream combos and you hit pastel in there? Like it turns the snake yellow. But if you were really hoping to hit a super OD Enchi Fire and you hit a super OD Enchi Fire pastel, you might be disappointed. But I'm not that disappointed with that animal, like
it's still powerful
like,
genetics.
Oh shucks, still got it.
Yeah, so just reading here quickly.
Now, what I would avoid is I'd avoid breeding super pastel males. We did that, and what ends up happening is everything has pastel. You can't; it's a super, right? So everything's going to have it. But what it ends up can be frustrating because you're like, I want to head this direction without pastel in it, but it has pastel. So it's just there's lots of combos that pastel works and lots of combos that doesn't. But I can say the exact same thing for, I think it's funny because a lot of people have messaged me. A lot of people know I like pastel, and they'll message me and be like, "Oh man, the pastel's ruining the blackhead." And I'm like, no, it's the other way around. Blackhead's ruining that pastel.
Yeah, when you switch it on somebody, that's when the entertaining side comes in. So here's a bit of an interesting one. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So I bought a spinner blast, bred it to a cinnamon yellow belly. What would be an awesome recessive to throw in there other than clown? So I'm trying to work out, is the person asking us if they hit on the pewter spinner yellow belly baby or like the recessive on one side or the other. So let's circle back to that one because just trying to think of what the potential could be. I'm going to burn a brain cell. Yeah.
Puzzle and Desert Ghost and clown and like it really doesn't matter. Like just what do you like?
Yeah.
Right? Like it's so hard for me to answer. Like what should I breed to this? What do you want to make?
Yeah. What have
you want to make a
top thing?
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you want to make a black and white snake? Put it into a xanthic. Do you want to make it super, super yellow? Put it into Desert Ghost. Do you want to make it like really cool patterned and everything? Put it into clown or puzzle or monsoon or who knows? Like it's what look are you after? That's what you need to.
So the way I always look at these questions as well. So I love it because it makes my brain work, especially even though I don't want my brain to be working, it still makes me think. But I often look at it. It's like your friend asking you to take you to join with them in car shopping. Sorry, my brain's switching off. And your friend has got an idea, but you go, "Oh, I'll buy this car here." But no, that's what they want to be. But they're going here because that's what you're saying. It's a case of people should be looking at both sides and go, "Cool, I like both ideas. Let me see which one works best for me down the line."
Right. Exactly. Yeah, like just because I tell you that you should put it to Desert Ghost, you might not even like Desert Ghost.
Hmm.
And you want to go into Ultramount, then do it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Have fun with it too. Like it's just, you know.
Yeah. So it all comes down to your own preference at the end.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna grab another drink here.
No problems. Okay, so here's a nice breeding question. All right. If you've planned a specific male for a female and they just don't lock, do you give that female the season off or do you go for another option of a male?
I go for another option.
Okay.
Switch it up. If it's not happening, it's not happening. But if she's ready to give you a clutch, I'd rather take a clutch from another male than not get a clutch at all.
Okay. So rather,
especially if it's a good female, right? Like, and that goes back to maybe like you want this, like you like both cars.
Yes.
Right? You like both cars. This one's not going to happen. So why don't you take this one? Because you still like this option.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing. Like this project that you really wanted to do, it's not working out this year, but you can still salvage that female and go this project too.
Which might have
then
been
the next
another
year you might
season
go
or
this
something.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just don't produce the clutches you wanted in the order you wanted. It has to be in a slightly
Exactly.
different order. That's
Right.
all it is.
Not a big deal.
Yeah. Unless, of course, like the way I look at it is if it's a very specific boy and you're just trying to prove him out. Okay, so
Sure.
let's just say, I don't know, I don't know. Give me an example of an animal here. Well, my brain, I can't even think of what's in your
So, for
collection.
example, like, let's say it's a double het female.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a double het Desert Ghost Pied. You have no Pied male, you have no Desert Ghost male. All you have is another double het DG Pied.
Yeah.
And they're not locking. I might let her sit for the season, just so that she's big and ready for next year to try again.
Yes.
Gives them each another year of maturity. That kind of situation, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But if I'm just trying to breed a ODNC Cypress female to a clown, and the clown's not locking her, I'll breed it to a Desert Ghost. I'm okay having either one.
Yeah.
I'll breed it to a Puzzle or a Tri-Stripe or a Lavender or a Monsoon or a Sunset, any of those. It doesn't even have to be a recessive. I could breed it. Let's say you wanted to put Blackhead to that combo and it's not working, but you want to also put Spot Nose in there. One of the two is fine by me. Either one of those is good.
Yeah.
I wish I had two females so I could do both clutches, you know?
No, definitely. What? Sorry, I'm trying to work this one out. Gavin, I think you've had enough to drink for the evening. He's saying, how's the Lanner doing?
The Lanner Falcon.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
I didn't quite understand. I thought he had a little
no.
bit too much to drink. Sorry, Gavin.
Yeah, no, Gavin does some falconry stuff too. Actually, we got rid of the Lanner Falcon. We have two still. Two. They're good. They're chilling. They just don't really do that much. We don't fly them that often, so just kind of chill.
Yeah, so, yeah, you and Gavin, I think I mentioned Gavin to you, or Gavin, I can't remember how it went. There was something about falcons, and I shared it with him, and then, yeah.
I think Gavin does a bunch of venomous stuff, doesn't he?
He does, yes.
Yeah, I saw him like free handling like a green mamba. It gave me anxiety.
I don't know if that was him, but I wouldn't put it past Gavin. But yeah, so I don't know if it was 2017 or 2018, Gavin. He won the mutation creation contest.
Yeah, he went to yeah.
So that Gavin, he's from Cape Town in South Africa.
Okay.
So yeah, no, definitely. So at least if you decide to come visit, you got a place to stay in Durban, you got a place to stay in Cape Town.
Man. Yeah.
Now we just need to find someone in Joburg for you.
Yeah.
Oh man. Alright, well, I'm actually going to wrap this up because we got another 15 minutes. We would have been doing this for 2 hours.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, damn, time's flying here. Yeah.
Alright, Gavin, so I'm just going to say goodbye to everyone here. if you can just hold on, I can just thank you properly as well.
Sure, man.
So yeah, so Will, shot for everything. Appreciate it. And
Yeah.
let me end it.
Shot for everything.
Yeah,
For any of the
I
Canadians
taught that one to
watching.
you today. Hey?
Yeah,
Yes.
shot means thank you. Yeah, I had no idea. I was like, what?
Yeah, because I sent you, when you sent me your logo and that, I went shot and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, so let me end it for everyone and then I'll chat with you shortly.
See you guys.